So I'm doing a customer's 2006 cluster today, and even though the cluster came in, he explained that some of the lights weren't working and possibly one of his gauges wasn't working, I believe the oil gauge. But it looks like visually when he had it in his truck, only one of them possibly thought wasn't working for the bulbs. And it's always deceiving because it still does light it up pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and power on the cluster here on my bench. I'll turn off the lights. And it still lights it up pretty well. But the thing is watch once I remove this. He only has 3 lights that are actually working. He should have an extra one here. He should have one here, and one here, and then one for his trans temp. So he's actually missing a lot, and it's amazing how well the factory lighting looks like it actually isn't too bad. But he's definitely needing all his light bulbs replaced here, and then I'm going to go ahead and replace the motors. I'm going to turn the light back on. Replace the motors with X27s because they're their original C5 motors, and it's an 06 board, so it looks pretty clean. Obviously, they did a much better design job on these 06s than previous years. But anyhow, that's kind of what I'm getting into, and I just kind of wanted to show you, even though it looks like you have quite a bit of lighting, it's a drastic difference, especially at night when you have all the bulbs working. So I'm going to go ahead and get these motors removed and put in new lighting for him. Alright, so I'm back. I went ahead and installed the X27 motors and all the backlighting. The customer wanted to do factory backlighting on this particular cluster. So as you can tell, they're all X27s. I only use the best. And I have it powered up on this bench here, so I'll go ahead and turn it on. And as you can tell, all the backlighting works. You can wiggle them. They don't have any movement in them. They're not going to come loose or die on them due to a bad connection. So go ahead and grab the overlay here in a second. And I'll turn the lights off. And as you can tell, it's a drastic difference. So I'll go ahead and install the gauges, get them all calibrated, and then splice together the last bit of the video here. Alright, so I'm back, calibrated all the gauges. I'll go ahead and power on this for the customer here. Just does a sweep test. All of them look good. Turn off the lights. So everything looks good. Hopefully the customer's happy. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to get it off there. It's just tough to see, but anyhow, cluster's done. I'll go ahead and put this back in the customer's truck, and they wanted me to go ahead and do all their accessories for like their HVAC, their light, their 4x4 switch, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and work on those.